on this computer. It's recording for me. You?
Yep, I see it. I see it.
All right, good to go. All right, here with Rager Dutch. I guess
And
this
Diego.
is our Wager Rager happy hour. Yeah, and my cat, my black cat Diego in the background, who likes to be involved with everything.
He's just chilling right now.
What are you looking at, dude? What are you looking at? Hi. He just chirped back to me.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the highlight of my day and week right now. Still living with COVID, still drinking out of a coffee mug right here, and it's seltzer actually in the coffee mug.
Delicious.
Spike seltzer.
That's a good clarification. We don't want to drink any regular seltzer on the weekend. It is officially the weekend.
It is the weekend. I was drinking out of the can at first, but the can smelled and tasted like cigarettes. It took me a month to realize what, because I wasn't smoking any cigarettes, and I would wake up and my mouth tastes like cigarettes. So it's like, dude, what the fuck tastes like cigs? And it turns out that this can smells like it and tastes like it. So I'm not going back to this beer distributor.
Dude, what was that movie where, there was a movie where someone kissed someone who thought I think it was the guy from Reno 911. He kissed like Jason Bateman, I want to say.
Yeah.
In some movie. And
There's
he thought it was a date, and it wasn't. He thought it was just maybe it was, I know what it was. I Love You, Man with Paul Rudd.
Oh, that was a great movie too. That was a fucking great movie. What are you doing, Diego?
Just chilling. I love it. But yeah, he went on dude. He was trying to find a friend, and the guy that he was set up with to be friends thought they were going on a date.
Yeah.
And the dude ended up kissing him, and he was like, like his mouth tasted like an ashtray.
Yeah, that's kind of like how it was tasting. I don't know if it was the kind of wine that we had that we bought and shipped. I think we had some shit shipped from Wink and some other place in New York, like upstate New York, Cigarette Coast. And no, it turns out that it's these cigarette White Claws. All right. And Cigarette Diego. Get out of here, dude.
It's like a little panther creeping around there.
So what's funny is that before we were recording for like the past 5 months recording, he'd be around all the time. Just I wasn't recording videos. Like he'd be right here all the time. He's going to be a staple of any kind of video recording that we have. He has to be part of everything. So that's Diego here. Hi, guy.
He kind of camouflages into the background when he's on the desk there, so that's convenient for him.
He really does.
He definitely just stared at the computer and was like, "Don't you dare talk about me, motherfucker!"
Like, are you fucking talking about me? I'm a black cat. He's 10 years of age. He's the friendliest cat, and you should probably move. Actually, I don't care. It's not like we're talking about sports right now. We can't talk about sports. The one thing I want to mention, I'll probably post most of our videos up on our YouTube page and Facebook, everything. I like to do something for the NFL draft. I don't know if that's going to be live, but that's going to be maybe the biggest event that we have for the rest of 2020.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
That's what it's shaping up to be.
Yeah.
It's virtual, just like we're doing here.
I know.
Which is kind of cool.
Security is going to be a concern, like people hacking into the rooms or Zoom rooms or whatever kind of rooms they're using, right?
Do you think that they're going to get like expert fantasy? This is in all seriousness, like expert fantasy drafters help with these things, like with the flow, because I can't imagine all these owners and like these coaches like being able to effectively communicate over video the first time. I've had some interesting Zoom meetings with colleagues and stuff like that. It's like, have you ever even seen a computer? Like what is going on in your life?
Some of these franchises are fucked. Like, do you think the Cleveland Browns and the Oakland Raiders are going to be able to handle any of this? No,
they definitely can't get Zoom on their typewriter over
there. Like, can I see the players that I can pick? just like staring at like.
You said not Baker Mayfield?
Hey, is this on? It'd be like a fucking cat in the background chirping into the thing.
It's that dog that was just walking around in Hard Knocks.
Yeah, just not knowing that they're on camera at points.
Yes.
Accepting deals on camera that they didn't think was on camera.
Yes.
It's going to be wild. It's going to be interesting, but I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm definitely looking forward to watching it, and I'm going to watch maybe every second of it because
what else do we have to do?
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to it, and then maybe we'll get something else a month later that we can watch live. The Jordan documentary, not that it's live, Jordan documentary is coming out, I think, around that same time. Apparently it's 10 parts. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of Jordan. I'm assuming they're like hour segments, or are they longer?
I don't know. It's probably hour segments. I think it's an ESPN thing, right? So
yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe we'll have some post-Jordan documentary reactions. Not that we can bet on it, but, you know.
No, but whatever. We can certainly talk about how influential he was into us being sports fans today, I would think, right?
Definitely. First NBA Finals that I watched. Do you remember him against the Jazz where he like crossed over whoever the fuck and then drained it at the end? It was 98. I got into baseball first, then hockey, believe it or not, and then NFL around the same time as hockey. NBA was last. It was around 98 for me. But
okay.
Yeah. But great stuff.
Yeah, I loved NBA when I was a kid just because like I've always loved slam dunks. Nothing cooler than a slam dunk. I mean, totally just saying the word slam dunk.
Slam dunk.
Fantastic.
Yeah, for some reason it was the last of the four sports, and now, I mean, it's up there for me. In terms of gambling, I prefer MLB and NFL, but NBA is probably right after that. NHL is a distant fourth, I'd have to say, but nothing beats NHL playoff hockey, which I hope that we can get to. I'm reading an article here about how NHL – this is on ESPN, NHL getting neutral site playoff pitches from cities. So I think they're pretty hell-bent, along with the NBA, on having neutral site playoffs and locking players down for, I don't know if it's going to be the typical 2 months. What's crazy is that the NHL playoffs would have started 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think of, that we've been locked down and in this holding pattern, for lack of a better term, for the past 4 weeks. And NHL playoffs would have started. NBA playoffs, I think, would have started next week, if I'm not mistaken. But NHL is looking at proposals from Saskatchewan.
Oh, come on down to Saskatoon.
A couple places in New Hampshire. So these are going to be like distant places where in Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Wow. That sounds like no one's there.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
There you go, Saskatoon.
I imagine that there's like a couple arenas, a few arenas in these places. Maybe there's some sort of, college town in there that they could play at. I mean, it's
definitely a couple denim shops.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, maybe a couple syrup taps.
Should we try to go to these towns and try to sneak into a match?
Yes.
Sneak into a game?
I think Saskatoon would be a hell. Actually, I get to go to Saskatoon for work, so you can come along if you want.
Sign me up. I mean, come June 1st, and I can't imagine anything's going to start before June. Come June or July, and we were talking before we recorded this, like hopefully there's testing going on, and like everything of that nature. But after the curve flattens, once there's testing out there, I'm going to be comfortable doing certain things, and I think that's going to be one of them. Like, I'm going to need to go somewhere. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to risk. Yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm going to risk my life and risk the lives of others, obviously. But I'm going to need to get out of this fucking house a little bit more than I have been. So
yeah, I'll second that for my apartment. It's a great apartment. It's a big apartment. It's nice. It's super fancy. Yeah. Love it. But
love it.
Man, we're just stuck on one floor, just in a couple different rooms. I need it. I'm used to being out on a golf course every weekend.
Totally agree. Yeah, I'm glad that we moved into our place a year ago. Yeah. I couldn't imagine if we were moving in this year, how much of a shit show that would be if we were moving in this year. But it's plenty big. It's gotten warm outside, and I've spent some time on the deck, everything like that. But I still need to do things. Like, I typically work from home, so that aspect hasn't changed too much. But on the weekends, we're always out doing stuff. I mean, like, because when you work from home, you don't get stir crazy, but you want to get out. Like, you definitely want to get out. So that was probably good training for all of this, to be honest with you, because 70-80% of my life already was at home. And now it's 99.5%, except for when I go out to, take the dog out or something.
Yeah, it's like getting out of the office,
Yeah, right.
You have to get out at the end of the, even if it's just like for a little bit. It's nice just to get
take
out.
A stroll. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you come home and it's like, okay, now you're home.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's really just the ritual of walking back in the door that makes it feel like you've left work. You've put that behind you and you're ready to party.
You've accomplished something.
Yeah. Seriously. Like,
let's get in there. But I think we can both agree at this point, there's probably not going to be any fans at sporting events until there's a vaccine, right?
A vaccine or widespread testing,
Widespread testing.
and then data analysis of that testing, right? So like if they see that everyone has it, they're like, well, this is really not as big of a deal as we thought. Then maybe they start opening
Yeah,
different
true.
places up, right?
True.
But yeah, I would think they would still be very tentative with bringing in large crowds.
Yeah, you would have to think so. And if they open certain places up, like, all right, say that we go through the summer and there's certain areas that are like opened up, like say places in like Oklahoma and Kansas, they're like, all right, you're in pretty good shape and we're
Right.
going to open you up a little bit. Do they then regulate how many people can come in? Because I'll tell you what, from a person that like might be locked down and can't do much on the East Coast outside of Philly here, and we're what, 90 miles from New York City, which is the epicenter of this whole damn thing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, come July, if you tell me that I can go on a vacation for like 4 or 5 days for a real long weekend, go out to some restaurants, go to a hotel, and just get a change of scenery out in like Kansas City, Missouri, I'm going to do it. Do you think they're going to regulate it? Like, do you think they're going to be
Probably.
like, well, no?
They're going to try to figure out some way to do it. I think, I mean, hopefully they don't go to like tracking us, like Big Brother style, right? But like they're definitely
South
going to have
Korea
to.
did it from square one. South Korea did it from the start. What they might say is that if you're coming in from a certain area, like anyone coming in from, I mean, flying, and maybe you
Yeah.
need to self quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah.
And then that takes the whole vacation aspect out of it, because
Correct. Yeah.
you can't go, and fly to like fucking Topeka, Kansas and sit in a hotel for 14 days. I'd rather do that in my own house.
And then have a 4-day vacation.
Right. So I'm not going to do that. But I think there's going to be plenty of people itching to get out there and do something.
I think it's like, to me right now, the outdoor stuff, people are itching to get out there and do more and more of it. Like for me, golf, even like a lot of the trails. And we talked about this a little bit, like the parks around me. If you don't live within walking distance, they're essentially closed because there's no parking lot access.
Yeah, you can't park.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, playgrounds are closed. Although I
Yep.
saw a bunch of kids in Philly were playing soccer, and what I find hilarious is that like news channels and like reporters were like driving around trying to track down kids, be like, oh,
Yeah.
so we tracked some kids here that are playing soccer in a park. I'm like, all right, yeah, but you're also fucking contributing to the problem.
You're like, you're
driving
there too,
around,
asshole.
being out there. Just go home.
Yeah, seriously.
Useless fucker.
So the playgrounds around us have caution tape around like literally everything.
same.
I mean, you could obviously get around the caution tape very easily, but it's very clear that they do not want people on that stuff.
Definitely not.
Everything looks like a
Definitely
crime
not.
scene. It's a
Yeah.
little first look, you're like, what the fuck's going on here? Are we in the apocalypse for real?
I know. Like, had I seen that 3 months ago, I'd be like, what the fuck happened to any kids on this playground? And now it's
Since
just
we have video
commonplace.
now,
Yeah, like,
I'll
can
show
you
you.
imagine 3 months ago, like you're walking around and people are like walking into like gas stations with hoods and masks on.
So now I could essentially walk around with this little go bag and look
With
like a normal human
full
being.
hood, full bandana covering your mouth, walk into any store.
Anything.
Anything.
And you could be carrying, you could have a machete on your back now, like literally like The Walking Dead, and no one blinks an eye. That's going to be an issue eventually as well, I think.
Eventually, once people get more and more desperate, it will
The longer
be an
the
issue.
quarantine goes, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
For
I'm trying
sure.
not to get too, preachy or philosophical, but technically we're only in like, I don't know, week 4, and some places might only be week 2 or 3. Once you go past like 2 or 3 cycles of having rents and everything due, credit card bills, everything due, once people don't have that income, and I guess they do have unemployment benefits if they're able to, apply and get that through. Once you go past a few cycles of that, desperation really starts to set in. And so you really need to weigh, how much is it worth having that desperation and that like end of the world Hunger Games mentality society, or should we just, once the curve flattens, do we let things go back slowly to normal? Not all at once. I'm not saying have, restaurants full of 1,000 people on the beach partying.
Yeah. Let's not have Burning Man like the next weekend.
Exactly. But maybe you open it up to some stores that are not able to be open right now. You can have 10 to 20 at a time. Restaurants, takeout. I don't know if you want to let people into the restaurants, 10 to 20 people at a time. still a bit of a risk there. It might be by region, as we said also, but
Yeah,
it's basically one big science experiment that we've never been part of before.
Yeah, I think the public's going to self-police themselves as well. You know, like people are going to be pretty hesitant. I'm sure there's going to be a decent amount of the population that's going to be gun shy to get out and, you know, be around people and sit in restaurants. So us more adventurous folk might have a little bit more ease of access once we're still allowed out. But
yeah, us younger people, although I'll be honest, I've been really cautious. I do have asthma, and I don't think that that's held me back. No, it has held me back. Like I haven't even been in a grocery store in more than 4 weeks. Like I've been pretty good about that. But I feel like once I hit like 8-10 weeks, if I'm able to do things and the curve flattens and the number of cases in our counties outside Philly, and we're lucky enough, you're closer to Philly, I guess, than me a little bit, but we're not in Philly, the heart of it itself. Thank God we're not in like Manhattan. But if things are really flat out and things are improving, I'm probably going to be comfortable going out to a couple of places, and we'll see what happens. But I definitely don't want it because I hear people with asthma aren't doing so hot.
yeah, I don't think it's going to be great.
They get it, yeah.
Like you said, I live in Montgomery County in Pennsylvania, so I was on the way home from the grocery store. I was wearing a mask, so I was protected. Yeah. But they were telling like the death count for today, and I think it was like 13 people, but there was one person that was 57, and who knows what the comorbidities there would be. But man, the rest of the people in this area that have died from it, which is very sad, but like they're talking like there was like 10 people that were 92 plus years old. It's like, I think life got those people. I mean, like they kind of already won. They beat the game already. They
tell you what, if I make it till 92 and a pandemic takes me out,
I mean, God bless.
It is what it is.
It's sad, but I really do think that it's definitely affecting a certain part of the population more than others. And it's making us get a little antsy. And it's like, well, it's not affecting us. And, you know, if we do start thinking that way and go outside, that's what could spread it more. And
exactly.
Keep us all inside longer. So unfortunately, we have to stay cooped up. I literally feel like a toddler, though, like just bouncing off the walls at some point.
I know. It gets bad at times. I'm like, all right, well, same routine again.
Yep.
I'm going to finish work and start making dinner. I'm not very good at cooking, and open up some wine to make it better, to make it feel like I can cook, and go from there.
So my fiance is very, very, very good at cooking. She's fantastic.
She is, yeah.
So I've kind of stopped cooking since I've been with her, because like it's like, you know, I can do it, but she can do it better. So let's eat the good food. But I've really gotten back into it a lot now, just because she's still going into work. She's essential business, and so it's kind of spurred me to start practicing cooking again. It's actually been pretty fun. I like it.
Very good. Yeah, I've been doing the whole HelloFresh thing, and some nights it results in me setting off the smoke detector. But you know, it's usually easy to follow. Like some of the steps, you know, there's a lot going on, and after like 3-4 glasses of wine, I'm like, what did I just read?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can get through it overall.
My big project last week, I did we worked up some Mongolian beef, P.F. Chang style. No free ads. Nice. It was delicious though.
P.F. Chang's is probably struggling right now.
Yeah. I also made beef jerky, which is one of my favorite hobbies. So I did some. I jerked some beef, if you will.
There you go. You've jerked some beef there.
Yeah. Spent some time jerking some meat this week.
Nothing wrong with that. In times of crisis, sometimes you just gotta jerk some beef.
I got to tell you, it's
nothing wrong with
batch. I had a lot of time to think about the marinade for this one. This free ad right here, truly.
Thanks truly. Just killed one that tastes like cigarettes, so I dumped it into a fucking teacup.
I almost spit that all over my mic. I actually tasted the cigarette as you said that.
I could go for a cigarette, man. I could go for a cigarette after being locked down for a month, I'll smoke a whole pack outside. It's like 42 degrees. How about it was snowing a little bit today? Like there were snow flurries outside. Where
Incredible.
did that come from?
How fucking annoying. It's like, we get it. All right.
I was
Things
talking
are
to a
shitty enough.
coworker, and I was like, "Yeah, it's been pretty nice here lately." I turn around, it's like it's actively snowing, and then I checked the temperature; it was 43 degrees. I mean, that's pretty warm for snow.
Yeah. So I was real pissed about that. And I was like, look at this. We're supposed to be golfing right now. And it's fucking snowing in April. And
didn't make sense.
Abby looked at me. She's like, I mean, at least you're not allowed to, because you'd be more upset if like you were
If
allowed
you're
to
out there
golf
golfing,
and you
yeah.
can't. I was like, wow, what a great spin zone from you.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
right? That's why you need a significant other. That's why you're marrying her.
That's why she's the best.
There you go. Sports related. I guess we'll do more sports.
Yeah.
I told my wife that you'll laugh at this. We're gonna switch things up and play some one-on-one beer pong tonight. I told her 6 p.m. Yeah, we're probably gonna record some of it. 6 p.m. It's now 6:13, so we'll go through it a little bit. I think her Zoom happy hour might be done, so we'll go through. We touch on NHL, NBA. There's been some news here and there. They're also, like the NHL, looking into a couple places to maybe quarantine themselves and play.
Mm-hmm.
MLB also talked about Arizona. Now, the latest today is that they want to perhaps have MLB seasons down in their respective spring training locations in Florida and Arizona, which would complete.
We lost sound, I think. No sound.
Hello, can you hear me?
I got you. I was muted.
My hand hit the record button right here.
There you go.
Hit the thing. It stopped recording.
Did it stop recording?
That's what happens when you have this too close to your face. So,
wait, did you hit the mute on the front, or did you hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're good.
First time doing that. But baseball, yeah. So they would do Florida or Arizona. But what would happen is that like you'd have like teams like the Yankees and the Phillies being in the same division because they're very close to each other.
Right.
Because the Yankees playing, I think they're like downtown Tampa, and the Phillies are in Clearwater. So if that does go through, I think it would be a much abbreviated season. They do maximum 80 games, and there might be some double headers in there just to get something going for people to watch.
It'd be like a pro of Grapefruit League, basically.
Yeah. And maybe they wouldn't even start till August 1st, maybe. And August 1st, maybe since you're in Florida, you can go a little bit longer with the regular season. Maybe you can play till October 15th, get some double headers in there. You could probably cram in 70 games.
The weather's, it's amenable.
Could probably cram in 70 games and then playoffs, God willing, if people are able to be in stands, maybe you move it to, the hometowns and the home stadiums in November for the World Series. I don't think that happens unless, things ramp up. But hey, November's a long time away. Testing might ramp up, as we said. Who knows? A vaccine or some treatment may come out of nowhere that's already being used. And by November, a lot of things can happen in 7 months. A lot of things have happened in the past 7 weeks or less. So a lot of things can happen in 7 months. So yeah. So that's what the MLB is thinking. NBA, I imagine they do some sort of like Olympic Village style tournament. 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. You can't keep people away from their families for too long, but they are making tens of millions of dollars, so they'll do what they have to do, right?
Right.
And maybe they do something in July and August. The thing that I keep thinking of would be that I would hate to see another year of LeBron's prime wasted. Like I don't want that wasted. Like LeBron and the Lakers probably were marching towards the finals. Lakers Bucks would have been great. And I don't want to see that just end. Like you have to have some sort of conclusion. I mean, you don't have to, but I would love to see some sort of conclusion. Even if you just take the top 4 teams, like you take who was the top 2 in the West. I think it was LA and might have been Lakers Clippers 1-2. In the East, I think it was Bucks and the Heat dropped off. I'm not going to pretend like I know. Celtics or Raptors were probably
Yeah, I can't
second,
even
but
pretend to know.
just yeah, because it's been 4 or 5 weeks. Just take the top four, put them in an arena for 2 weeks, play it out.
Mhm.
Fine by me.
Yeah, why not? Just something to watch.
Exactly. And
You can't expect to have you just can't expect to have anything normal from a season watch. Just something to watch, something to see the guys, something to get them out there and stretch the legs again, like we need to do.
Yeah, and watching it would be refreshing. It would just be like, you know what, life still exists.
yeah, it's like some sense of normalcy.
Yeah, we can still go on. We'll get Vostrain on. He was going to be on tonight. Work got in the way. He's left coast time, so he couldn't make it. But we'll do PGA next time that he's around. But yeah. PGA has a new schedule going on.
They do.
That hopefully that they can live to. It does start August 6th, though, so no fans obviously will be in attendance for this. But August 6th in San Francisco, PGA Championship would be when this opens up, I guess, right?
Yeah, we'll take that. So they're going to throw all the majors back into the mix except for the Open. That's the Open Championship is the only one that we're not going to get this year. We'll see the PGA Championship starting then. You have some stuff. You have the FedEx Cup playoffs still all the way through September. And then you have the U.S. Open, and we still get Ryder Cup too.
How about that?
That's pretty cool.
U.S. Open would be September 17th to 20th, and then Ryder Cup. Oh, it's in Wisconsin. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Whistling Straits. That's where they played the U.S. Open a couple years back.
Yeah, it's a good course. Back.
It's
a nice course.
When I was living there, I was going to go to it, but instead I just drank with a friend at a bar basically all weekend and watched it in Wisconsin.
Equally fun.
It was definitely fine. So that'd be cool. I think that because it's such a condensed schedule and there's maybe 8 events here tops, I think you can get something to happen. I mean, there's going to be less media, of course.
Yep.
There'll probably be less help in the country club. But again, August 6th, we're 4 months away from that. A lot can happen in 4 months. A lot can happen in 4 months. A lot's happened in the past 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So that'd be very cool. And now November 12th, I'm actually – okay. I thought that the PGA Championship – San Fran's August 6th. I was going to say that I'll be out in San Fran that weekend where the PGA Championship is, but I'll be in San Fran for a wedding November 12th, 13th when the Masters. So
that's the Masters, yeah.
That would be cool. Have Masters, a little wedding weekend in Napa Valley. A lot of weddings that we were invited to have been rescheduled for the fall now. So
yeah, my wedding is also in jeopardy of being rescheduled. So
I was invited to 4 or 5 this year. 3 have been rescheduled in the past week to either September or November, and the one that still remains is yours. But
yeah, and you're actually in mine. So even if we do a small one, we're still expecting you to come.
I'll be anywhere. Come June, fucking give me coronavirus.
We'll all get it together. We'll eat cake.
Fucking, that's the most important one. But so I don't know. Still have 8-9 weeks until then.
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed over here.
It's a day-by-day process.
Yeah.
Day-by-day process for sure. So
she's still stuck with me either way. So
exactly. Yeah.
That's on her.
We're all stuck together.
Yeah.
My wife is stuck with me playing beer pong probably for the next couple hours as we just
I might have to formally challenge you. We have to figure out a way to do this.
Definitely do some FaceTime as we're doing this little Friday night activities, and we'll get some more people on board for Wager Happy Hour. Vostrain will join us, and we'll get into more PGA. He had some NFL points that he wanted to talk about too, so we'll definitely do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Follow us. There's many avenues now.
Yeah, so there's YouTube.
YouTube is new, so I'm just posting some things. I had a couple stock trading videos up there.
Oh yeah,
the stock trading videos posted up there, so that's up there, and it's good practice just for when sports do come back. I mean, when MLB comes back, I'd like to just have a daily MLB video like that. That was my plan, just have an MLB daily play, either video, audio. Possibly both, but that'll be a real nice avenue. Hopefully we do get
for
those.
The MLB here.
There you go. Same Phillies. Phillies also.
I guess we got the memo today.
Plenty of Phillies in the background now. I'm not sure where my cat went, but he's.
I got a bunch of stuff back there on that shelf, but I can't even see it from here.
Phillies galore back from their glory days. But yeah, plenty of that stuff. So we've got YouTube, we've got Instagram as usual. I've been posting every now and then about some things, and you have as well.
Yeah. So we have the Wager Rager account. I have, I think, do I have a separate one too? No, that's on Twitter. No, we just do. Yeah. So we have all the different Twitter accounts. We have Instagram. We should probably figure out what we actually have.
Yeah, I'm 4 to 5 drinks deep right now. I'm just like, yeah, we've got this and this. Twitter, you have your Twitter. Twitter, I have mine. Yep. This is hilarious. We're just reciting like things that we have right now. Twitter,
we're not. We haven't given our addresses, which is the best part.
Just fucking Google Wager Rager.
Yeah, we're here. You guys
Wager _Rager Twitter. You have your own fucking Twitter account.
Yeah, it's Rager _Dutch.
Sir Wager Rager's my Twitter.
Oh my
YouTube.
Goodness.
Just Google. Just Google Wager Rager.
Yeah, if you like us, you'll find us. I think.
It's not a well-oiled machine
yet, but we're getting the reps in. That's what we're doing. We're putting.
We were getting good with NFL, but in the NFL season, we didn't have YouTube yet. I don't even know if we had Facebook yet. Like I think I fired up Facebook on the way to the Bahamas. So
there you go.
We're going to be set up when everything comes back, and I would love to. The plan was to do halftime videos for the NBA Finals, even for some of the playoff games. We'll see if we get NBA Finals, everything like that. So we'll have plenty of stuff going on, and people aren't going to be in stands. Fans aren't going to be in games maybe for a year and a half. So they should definitely turn into Wager Rager for our halftime analysis, in-game analysis. Maybe we'll even do some in-draft live prop betting. Hopefully there's some prop betting going on.
I think it would be cool to do some sort of live watch following along,
Definitely. So I think we'll leave it at that. Rager Dutch, appreciate it. We'll talk soon. I'll probably be calling you while playing beer pong the next
time. Look at that. We'll be drinking together again.
Yeah, awesome. Drinking together like fucking 33 minutes. So
it's always fun talking to you, buddy.
You got it, man. You got it. Follow it on all those accounts that we don't even know what the handles are.
Yeah, like, rate, subscribe.
Yeah, just fucking Google it and follow it.
Please do the internet things.
Yeah, just do internet because you're not anywhere else. You're at home. Log into the internet.
I love it. All right, brother. Have a good night.
All right.